So we are going to start today with our joint freeing series practice. Now our joint freeing series practice is the practice that we do when we open every joint in the body in every way. We move every joint in the body in every way the joint is supposed to move. So you can do that in a chair or on the mat. If you're on the mat, we're going to be seated for quite a while, so it's good to be sitting up on a folded blanket or a block to get the back a little more straight and to have the hips comfortable, because we're going to be here a while. So in the beginning, we're going to start with the feet able to be forward. And then when we do the second part of the exercises, when we do the upper body, you can sit any way you want to sit. So this is a great practice just for opening everything up, getting mobile. It's a great beginning of the day practice. It just allows the body to move and kind of starts to wake up all the muscles around and supporting all the joints. So sometimes people do this just as this is the only practice they do. But we're going to continue from there, moving into the hips, because today in February we're going to focus on hip stretching and hip strengthening. So all that being said, we're going to begin in our meditation like we always do. So for meditation, you can sit in any way that's comfortable for you. So maybe it's easier for you to sit with the legs out. Maybe you like to sit with the legs crossed. It doesn't matter how you sit as long as you're relaxed. And for our meditative seat, we want to find the spine is long. The eyes are closed, or the eyes are partly closed and the gaze is soft. So if you don't like closing your eyes all the way, you don't have to. But soften the gaze. Don't look with a lot of attention to detail at the things around you. It helps us go inward. And then once we close the eyes, when we begin to withdraw our attention and awareness to the outside world, and we instead pull the attention and awareness to our inner landscape. And we always, when we turn our attention, we begin with the body. So it's the easiest way to kind of drop inward. We start to feel our body and the way it connects to the mat, the floor, the chair, wherever we're sitting. We feel the hips on the floor or on the chair. We feel the bottoms of the feet or sides of the feet or sides of the leg, wherever we are connecting. And if you're in a chair, the earth is also your chair. And then we notice the long spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. And we inhale and exhale. So with every breath, we feel the upper body is lighter and more expansive. And with every breath, we feel the base of the body is more heavy and connected. Soften the forehead, all the muscles of the forehead. Soften the corners of the eyes and between the eyebrows. Soften the jaw. Let it relax and release. And soften the tongue and the mouth. All these places where we restrict and hold ourselves in tension. Relax the throat and the belly at the same time. And now we rest in this alert calmness, relaxed awareness. We're not sleepy and zoning out. But we're connected. Connected to what we're feeling, connected to our breath, our body. We're connected, but we're not deeply attached. And then start to notice the movement of the mind. And if it's busy and chattering and telling stories, or if it's quiet. And then let's start to move out of our meditation by taking a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth with a ha. And inhale and exhale. Ha. Inhale and exhale. And relax. So we'll begin to move the body now. We're going to move the body starting with the ankles, moving up through the neck. So we extend the legs. And if you're in a chair, you don't have to stick your legs straight out in front of you with your feet even with your hips, but you just extend the legs a little bit forward. And then on the inhale, we'll point the toes. And on the exhale, we'll draw the toes back. So inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. And we'll do that about 3 more times because we're going to aim to do each movement about 6 times. I'll lose track of count. I'll lose count here and there, so don't worry about making it exactly 6. But that's kind of the direction we're aiming. Exhale back. Relax back to center. Now we're going to do a movement. This is called, pardon me, ankle inversion and eversion. And it's a little hard to see on the camera. So what we're going to do is bring, the big toe joints touching, but there's space between the heels. And on the inhale, we're going to open the feet away from one another. And they're not going to go very far. This isn't a big range of motion. Toes are drawing towards the ceiling. Then on the exhale, we bring the feet towards one another as if we could clap them. And the toes are still drawing towards the ceiling. Now there's a key here to not move the knees a lot. Just keep this movement isolated in the ankles. We inhale, open away. Imagine like you're opening a book too far past its binding. And then on the exhale, you're closing your book. So we're inhale, opening out with the feet. Exhale, closing in with the feet, trying to move just the ankles, not the knees or hips. And this movement is a really important one in balance and stability. This is the movement that we feel if we stand on one foot in tree pose and our ankle is kind of wobbling back and forth. So it's important to have this movement. If we don't have this movement, the ankle can't wobble when we're unstable and we're just falling right over. So relaxing back to center, separate the feet a little bit wider, and then on the inhale, roll the ankles out one big circle. And on the exhale, roll the ankles in one big circle. So inhale, roll out, toes to ceiling. Exhale, roll in, toes to ceiling. One more round of that. One more exhale. And then relaxing back to center. So those are the three motions of the ankles. We have extension, flexion, inversion, eversion, and then rotation. So we're going to move next into the knees. On the inhale, the leg is straight, the right leg is straight. And on the exhale, we're just going to draw the knee up. So inhale, let the leg lengthen long. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it in. Continue 4 more on that side. And if you're in a chair, I want to demonstrate the chair version. So if you're in a chair, the inhale, the leg is straight. And the exhale, you draw the heel up and back. So that's the only difference. You're still bending the knee, but you're just seated in a chair. So after we've done about 6 on one side, we're going to switch to the other side. And again, this is a joint mobility movement, so we're not worried about really going deeply into the muscle stretch and contraction. We're just mobilizing the body, moving the joints, opening them up, checking their range of motion. So left leg now, we're exhale as the knee draws in. We're inhaling the leg straight. And there are a couple options here. You can hold on to the front of the shin, really draw the knee, and even pick it up with your foot off the floor. Or you can keep it very relaxed. And if it hurts the knee to hold at the front of the shin, you can hold in the back of the leg, behind the thigh. Relax out. If you're in the chair, you've also switched sides and you're doing that same movement. Inhale, leg straight. Exhale, bend knee. And now relax. Back to center. So we're going to move now into movements of the leg where the leg is going to be moving from midline and sweeping out. So if you're on a mat, which I am, I'm going to fold up my mat so I can get my feet onto the floor so that they'll slide a little easier without getting caught on the mat. If you're in a chair, you're going to stay where you are. So on the inhale for this motion, we're going to keep the toes pointing towards the ceiling. The hips are square to the front of the room. And what you can do is move just your feet a little bit to the left. So the hips stay centered, but the feet are a little bit off to the side. Now on the inhale, you're going to take your right leg, you're going to sweep it open, keeping the toes to the ceiling. On the exhale, you're going to sweep the leg back in, cross midline, and squeeze it up against the other leg. So inhale, sweep. Toes stay to ceiling, exhale back to center, cross midline, and squeeze inner thighs. So this is outer hip, inner thigh. We're moving now into the hips, and hips have a lot to say to us about how they're feeling. So if you're moving into pain, if you get to say this point and you've got a pain sensation in your hip, you don't want to push it further. This is not a no pain, no gain practice. So keep in mind, paying attention to your body signals, noticing what's right. And we want to feel sensation, but we don't want to feel pain. They are not the same. Now, if you're in a chair, you're not going to worry about keeping your legs straight. Instead, you're going to have a long spine, hips forward, knees shift a little bit to the left. Then you're going to open your right leg, one leg at a time. Exhale, slide it in, squeeze inner thighs. So this is your movement if you're in a chair. It's the same thing, but you're going to keep your hips in flexion and you're going to keep your knees bent. So those are our two motions. Now we're going to switch sides because if you're on the floor, you've already done your 6 on one side. And now we're going to move to the other. And if at any point in time you picked a position you don't like the chair versus the mat, or the mat versus the chair, you can always switch and go to a different location. So for the left leg, we're going to shift the hips a little over to the right. Hips stay square towards the front of the mat. And then we're keeping the toes pointing right up towards the ceiling. We're going to slide the left leg open and then slide the left leg closed. So we're going to aim for about 6. We're doing the same thing in a chair. We're keeping the knee bent and we're stepping out to the side. My mat's really annoying me here. And sliding back in. So trying to keep the toes straight up, because we're going to do this movement again and the toes are going to be moving out to the side. So that's a different hip mobility activity. So we're going to relax back to the center after the last round. And then we're going to do hip internal and external rotation. So hip internal and external rotation. Now here we're going to bend the knee. So we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to bend the knee quite a lot. And we're going to let our hands rest on the floor either behind us or out to the side. And now what we're going to do is let the knee drop out to the side. So we've got the pinky toe side of the foot kind of resting on the ground. And on the inhale, we're going to slide the leg out, keeping the knee open and out to the side. And then we're going to rotate the knee down. And you can pick this hip up if you need to do that. You're going to drop the big toe joint side of the foot down to the floor with the knee bent and slide back into center. So it's like a big figure 8 kind of motion. And the first thing you do is turn the knee. The second thing you do is move, because if you try to turn the knee and you've already started moving, probably not going to get it really in the right position. Now remember, you can rock the hips up to do this. You can bend the knee quite a lot or only a little. And you're really going into the hips here, into internal and external rotation. So keep in mind what you're feeling. Now, if you're in a chair, I'm going to do a similar thing. In your chair motion, the knee is also going to be bent. And you're going to drop the knee out to the side, slide open, and then you're going to drop the knee in and slide in. And it's the same thing. So you're rotating the knee out and then sliding, rotating the knee in and then sliding. If you're on the mat, switch sides, because you've probably already done your 6. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, just because we're doing the same movement side to side doesn't mean the body is reacting the same way side to side, and that's really important to know. So our hips can be very, very individual. So you may have found it very easy to drop to the pinky toe side of the foot on the other side, maybe not so much on this side. So adjust as you need to. And remember, we're dropping the knee open to this side, and then we're sliding and inhaling. And then we're dropping the knee in, and then we're sliding and exhaling. So keep that motion going. Notice what you're feeling in your hips. And again, if you get to the point where you're feeling any kind of stinging, stabbing, burning, zipping, zapping, sensations like that, means we've gone a little too far. We're into the pain realm. Now, zipping and zapping is nerve pain. That's not necessarily a terrible thing. Some people intentionally trigger their nerves as its own practice, but that's not something that we're doing right now. So we're inhaling, sweeping open, exhaling, sweeping closed. We're doing the same thing whether we're in a chair or on a mat. And exhaling, relax back to center. And then let's conclude that practice and move into cat and dog tilts. So cat and dog tilts, if you're in a chair, you are already in position. But if you're on a mat, you're going to need to shift around. And there are a couple modifications here I like to offer. So first modification I like to offer is a blanket under the knees. If you have any knee stuff, you want to keep your knees padded. And second modification I like to offer if you're on the mat is if you have any wrist troubles, you can roll up the front edge of your mat, place the heels of the hands on the mat, the fingers on the floor. So let me actually do this to the side so you can see me a little better. I think you could see me a little better. Yeah, so you can roll the mat up. That's one option for wrists. Another option for wrists is coming up on your fists. That way the wrists stay straight and not locked, but they stay straight and long. So we're not here in flexion, which might bother the wrists. And another last option is if you have blocks at home, you can put your blocks down, bring your forearms to blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you can bring your forearms to the floor. So lots of options for cat and dog tilts. So setting yourself up, and if you're in a chair, you're already set. So what we're gonna do is come into our tabletop position on the mat. Hands are a little bit forward of the shoulders, not right underneath the shoulders. So that reduces the angle at the wrists. On the inhale, turn the tailbone up, not a huge arch in that lower back, but a little bit. Turn the tailbone up, let the belly hang, slide the shoulder blades together, and actively draw the shoulder blades down towards the waist. Keep the neck long, looking at the front edge of the mat. And then on the exhale, tuck the tailbone forward, press the spine up, drop the head, pull the belly in. And continue like that. So always on the inhale, turning tailbone up, dropping belly, shoulder blades together, and pulling the armpits down towards the waist. Exhale, reversing, spine presses up to the ceiling like a Halloween kitty, belly pulls in, pectorals, the chest contracts as the shoulder blades spread. So 4 more times like that. If you're in a chair, you're doing the same thing with the spine, but you're upright. And on the inhale, you're rocking the tailbone back, letting the belly rest forward, sliding the shoulder blades together, pulling elbows down towards the waist. And exhale, dropping the back towards the back of the chair, pulling the belly in, lowering shoulder heads away from the ears, but bringing the arms forward to stretch the shoulder blades. So we're doing about 6 of these all together. And then once you do your 6, if you're really feeling in the mood for a little bit of a rest, you can go into your child's pose, which is dropping the hips back towards the feet, extending the upper body forward, coming into a rest pose. And if you're in a chair, your child's pose looks like this. Coming forward, elbows on the knees, interlace fingers, drop the head into the hands. Now the next position we're going to move to is called Sunbird. It's going to look pretty different between the mat and the chair. So follow me first on the mat, then I'll jump up to the chair to demonstrate that. So on the mat, you're going to extend the right leg out. The left knee stays supported on the floor. So lots of weight in the right hand and the left knee. You're going to tuck the tailbone down, and as the tailbone tucks down, you're going to inhale, extend the right leg off the floor, only as high as the hip. We're also going to make sure the hips aren't peeling open like this to get the leg higher. So hips drop down, heel presses up, that's the inhale. On the exhale, the knee draws into the nose, the spine arches up, the heel pulls up towards the hip. And then we inhale back, extending long. Exhale, bend knee, press up, pull the heel in. 4 more times like that on this side. Now, if you're in the chair, we're going to extend both the arms out, and on the inhale, we're going to sweep the right leg up straight, and on the exhale, we're going to drop it back down, pull the heel up towards the bottom of the chair. So inhale, leg up, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop the heel down and back. Inhale up. Exhale down. So 6 on each side. So right about now, if you're on the mat, you might be switching sides. And to switch sides again, we're going to rest at center. We're going to extend the left leg out. Keep the tailbone tucked down. So we already start to engage the hip extensors even before we lift the leg. So the tailbone tucks down. The left leg floats up, straight back behind. Deep engagement in the gluteals on that side. Lots of weight in the left hand, right knee. Then on the inhale, or on exhale, draw the knee into the nose, pull the heel up, press the spine up. So inhale, extend back, toes point down towards the floor. Exhale, knee draws in, spine presses up. About 4 more times like that on each side. Same thing if you're in the chair. You're going to do our previous movement with arms out, leg extended, belly active. Exhale, heel draws up. Inhale, leg extends. So take some slow movements. Bringing awareness into the hip flexors, into the hip extensors. And then once you've done your motions on each side, once again, come into a rest pose. So maybe a rest pose is child's pose for you. Maybe child's pose is not restful for you, in which case you can come to lie down on the belly with your head turned towards one side, pillows with your hands. Or if you're in a chair, you can take a forward fold. So taking a small rest pose. And then slowly coming back up to a comfortable seated position. Now your options here to continue sitting on the mat, if you like. I recommend that if you're very comfortable sitting on the floor, and if you can sit on the mat with your back straight in a very comfortable position and you're not going to bother your hips at all. So I recommend for sitting on the mat in stick pose, the hips being on a blanket. Now you don't have to sit in stick pose. This is one of the more accessible poses when you're on the floor. You can also sit with your feet on the floor and your knees bent, which is also nice for your back. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can also, it's possible that you like hero pose. Hero pose is when we take a block or a blanket and we sit the hips on there and the tops of the shins are on the floor in line with the tops of the feet. So this is another option for sitting on the mat. The other option is, of course, to not have to worry with all that adjusting and to sit in a chair, because every movement we do now is going to be upper body focused. So you decide how you want to sit. And if you, a couple minutes in, you realize you want to move, then you just move. It's no big deal. So we're going to jump up to the wrists. To start with the wrists, we're going to make soft fists. And on the inhale, we're going to draw the knuckles up and unfurl the fingers, pressing them out. Now the trick here is to keep your forearms parallel to the floor and your elbows not moving. So on the exhale, we roll the fingers in, drop the knuckles, and unfurl the fingers down. So inhale, roll up. Exhale, fingers in, drop the knuckles, drop the fingers down. Now remember, we don't want to bend elbows, so we don't want to do this. We want to keep forearms parallel to the floor, elbows tucked into the side. So we're just moving the wrists up, just moving the wrists down. And this stretches the tops and bottoms of the forearms. Maybe you can feel that. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then we're going to flip the palms to the ceiling. So again, keeping forearms parallel to the floor. On the inhale, we're going to draw the thumbs towards the outer forearms. They're not going to go too far. Now on the exhale, we draw the fingers in towards one another. So we're just moving the wrists here again, not elbows, so we're not doing this. Thumbs move out, fingers move together. Inhale, open the hands away. Exhale, close the hands in. So a few more times like that. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then let's relax and roll the wrists out 3 times. Big inhale. Roll in 3 times, exhale. Inhale, roll out. And exhale, roll in. And relax the arms away from the body. So on the inhale, the hands come away. On the exhale, we bend the elbows, touch the shoulders. So inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Maybe one more. Inhale. One more exhale. Then let the hands rest on the shoulders. And on this inhale, we open the elbows away from one another, but not so far that we're squeezing shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades are neutral, elbows are pressing back, that stretches the chest and contracts the upper back. And then we exhale, bring the elbows towards one another, not so far that we're stretching shoulder blades though. So we inhale, open away, exhale, close. Another couple rounds, inhale and exhale. And again, if you need to shift around because you're not quite comfortable or your spine is slumping, go ahead and move your hips, your seat in any way that you need to move. As we focus on the upper body, we just want to have the lower body comfortable as well. Now the next time the elbows come open, we're going to release the fingertips towards the ceiling. This is our inhale. So the palms are forward, elbows drop down low, so they're not up here. We've come down now. So this is our inhale. Exhale, drop the hands forward. Hands are parallel towards the floor. And then keep the elbows bent and drop the hands down towards the floor. Let gravity take over. So they're not going to press down really hard with the fingers pointing towards the ground. We're just going to keep them relaxed. So we inhale, rotate up. Exhale, rotate down. This is rotation of the shoulder heads, internal and external. So we inhale up. Exhale down, keeping elbows bent, letting the arms hang like scarecrow arms. Exhale down. Maybe 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale, and then relax the arms straight down to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up, biceps alongside the ear, or as far as is comfortable for you. And then exhale, drop the arms straight down and back. Bend the elbows slightly, press the elbows back. Use the triceps. So we inhale, sweep. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. A few more. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure the spine is staying long. We're just moving the arms, not the back. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Last one, exhale, and then relax the arms back down. I'm going to jump back down to the floor just so I'm demonstrating from both places, but it's the same movement and it really doesn't affect the lower body. But I'm going to come and sit on the floor just so that I'm demonstrating both. So for this movement, I'm going to sit with my spine long and the feet on the floor and the knees a little bit bent. And then we're going to move into shoulder blades. So shoulder blades are what we were doing a little bit with before when we were doing cat and dog tilts. Now we're going to do a long spine and just shoulder blades. So on the inhale, we slide the elbows back and squeeze them towards one another. That's our inhale. Then on the exhale, we slide the arms forward, press the spine back a little bit, stretch the shoulder blades. So inhale, draw the elbows back, squeeze them towards one another. Exhale, slide the arms forward, press the upper spine back. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, forward. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, stretch. So we're stretching and contracting shoulder blades here. And we're not worried about what the tailbone or the lower back is doing. Inhale. Exhale. And then relax back to center. We're going to move into the spine now. So on the inhale, the spine is long. Again, the legs can be in any position that's comfortable for you. I'm going to extend my legs now straight. So on the inhale, the spine is long. On the exhale, we're going to drop the right hand to the floor, contract the right side seam, sway over to the right. We're going to inhale back to center. Exhale, contract and drop to the left. Inhale to center. If you're in a chair, same thing. You're dropping your hand to a supportive place on the chair, on the seat, or the leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale, contract to the other side. Now, if you like, you can add sweeping opposite arm overhead. Not everyone likes this, but if you do, you can contract to the right and sweep the left arm up and over if that feels good for you. If it doesn't feel good for you, it's not something you have to do. Then you drop back to center and you sway up and over to the other side. So we have 3 more to do. You decide how you're going to do them, either with or without the arm overhead. But we're always inhaling to neutral and we're always exhaling to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, contract. Continue like that. We'll do 1 more round, which means once on each side. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Relax back to center. The spine is long, so that's our inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take a gentle rotation to the right. Make sure the head stays upright, drawing towards the ceiling. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, rotate. So we're making sure that we're not leaning forward or back or side to side as we rotate. And that way we get the full benefit of the rotation. So we exhale, twist gently. Inhale, center. And we're not using our hands to crank us around. We're using the actual muscles in the torso that are contracting and stretching and allowing this motion. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. And a few more gentle rotations. Always exhaling to the side. Always inhaling back to neutral. Completing your last round. Coming back to center. And then relaxing at center. So we've done all the movements now except for the neck. So we're going to end with our neck movements and some meditation. I forgot how long this practice takes, so we don't have time to do our hip strengthening today. We'll do that another day. So again, you can sit in your chair. You can sit in any way that's comfortable for you, on the floor, on the mat, on your props, on your blanket, on your bolster. Moving up to the neck. On the inhale, draw the chin up to the ceiling. And exhale, tuck the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 3 more. Moving with the breath. Finding the stretch. Inhaling back to neutral, resting at neutral, and then exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Continue like that, exhaling to the side. Inhale, neutral. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, neutral. And continuing, just feeling the sensation of the stretch, of the mobility. Feeling like the neck is opening up and relaxing. All of the muscles along the sides of the neck release, relax, loosen up. And then the next time we complete a full round, take your time to complete your full round. Rest back at center. On the inhale, the spine is long. And then on the exhale, rotate the chin as if to look over the right shoulder. Inhale, draw back to neutral. And then exhale, rotate to the other side. And inhale back to neutral. So a few more rounds. We say maybe 5 more, but it's okay if you lose track. We're relaxing, dropping deeply into just the sensation. Inhaling always to center. Exhaling always to neutral, or exhaling to contraction to the side. Inhaling to neutral. So continuing to move. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. And like that. One more round to finish. So finish completely, moving each time to the side, back to center, to the other side, back to center. And then just come to relax. You can either do your final meditation lying down, if you need to relax and lie down, or you can remain seated. If you feel like you have any last movements to do before you settle into your meditation, you can Maybe extend the legs, point and flex the toes. Take a little forward fold. If you're lying on your back, you can draw your knees into the chest and roll out your back from side to side. If you're sitting in a chair, you can take a forward fold or twist the spine from side to side. So it really is just about what feels good for you right now. You can come into child's pose. Any kind of movements that set you up for rest. And if you're lying on your back, you can just stay there. Maybe bending the knees, feet on the floor, and resting your knees, knocking them in towards one another for support of the lower back. But we're going to conclude by bringing the awareness inward in whatever position you're in. Drawing the mind, the awareness, into the heart center. And see, feel, or imagine there the light at the heart center, the light of the inner teacher, the Satguru, the true self, the light of our connection to Source, the light of our connection to each other. And if you like, you can bring your hands to rest on your chest, or your hands in prayer at the chest, or rest your hands in the lap. And at this time, if you'd like to set an intention, a personal intention, whatever it is, you can do that. Or you can also offer the benefits of our practice up for the highest good of all, without exception. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.